A lot of people don't know what they want. What you should understand is that life does not give to you what you deserve. Life only gives to you what you demand. And what you demand is a function of what you think you are worth. What you demand from life is a function of what you think you are worth. The question I'm asking this evening is, what do you want in your faith? Because that's my balanced life. You are a Christian. What kind of relationship, what do you want people to say about when they talk about your faith? What do you want to be known for? The second is, what do you want in your family? What kind of family life do you want? What kind of family life do you want? And then you need to also ask yourself, how much do you truly want? How much is sufficient for you? How much amount do you want? How much do you want to earn in a month? How much do you want to earn in a year? What a lot of us do not know is that we think that the amount of money that we want is going to be limited by the economy of our country. And that's the reason why many of us are not striving, we are not asking for you just feel that if I now have plenty money, other people will not have. Who told you? Who even told you that the money that you want is in the bank? Who told you? What many of us don't know is that the amount of money that you will ever need in your life is inside of you. I will show you shortly. And until you start seeing that amount inside of you, you will never see it in your hand. If you do not know that you are worth ₦1 million in a year, you will never see ₦1 million in a year. If you don't know that you are worth 10 million naira in a month, you will never see it. Even if they print excess money in your country, you will not see it. And if you accidentally come across it, that money will make you more miserable than you have ever been. What we are looking for is inside of us. It's inside here. It's here. What we are looking for is in us. It's not outside. The kind of things that you attract to yourself is a function of what is going on within you. Many of us don't know the potential that God has placed in the human mind, the potential that God has put in you. Let me tell you something. The reason why God created man, oh my God. If you are familiar with your Bible, you have read Isaiah chapter 14, verse 14, when Lucifer said he wants to be like God. If Satan was aspiring to be like God, he is lower than God. So he was aspiring to be like God. He was looking forward to be like God. I will come back to this story again. What kind of friends do you want in your life? Let me just share with you the kind of friends that I want. I want the kind of friends that I can call that, okay, Martin, please, I need you to help so and so person with ₦1 million. And Martins will not think twice. In less than 24 hours, Martins will transfer the ₦1 million to the person. That's the kind of friends that I want to have. And lastly, what kind of structure, what kind of physique, what kind of health do you desire in your life? Let me tell you, I have maintained my body weight to be between the range of 70 and 75. Past 12 years, I have maintained my body weight. Why? I have a picture of the stature that I am seeing. And there is nothing that you will do to this body that will make the body be different from what I am seeing. Many of us, we eat anyhow. Many of us, we do things anyhow. And we just think that, well, that is how my health will be. Your health starts from your mind, not this physical body. No. Your health starts with your mind. Most of the sicknesses, if not all, that we are having today in our body, be it malaria, be it typhoid, they are the function of our mindset. Next thing I'm going to ask you, this is a seedling. This seedling is a seedling of apple. It's an apple seedling. The desire of this seedling is to be like this tree that is producing this fruit. So here comes again the story that I was saying about Satan. This seedling is aspiring to be like this tree that will produce fruit. Do you agree with me that this seedling will eventually grow to produce this fruit? Fruit is inside this seedling. Have you ever seen any plant, maybe a mango plant or an apple plant, going to the market to go and look for fruit to come and hang on his tree? Have you ever seen a mango seedling or an apple seedling coming to the market to come and look for fruit that he will hang on his tree? This fruit that this tree is producing now, where did the fruit come from? Do you believe that human beings are more than plants? How come plants will stay in one place and then suddenly they will start producing fruit without going to the market, without going to another forest or going to another bush to go and look for their fruits? They just stay there. And then as time goes on, you see them growing, and finally they will start producing the fruit. Where did the fruit come from, please? The fruit came from them. And you believe that the potential that God put in plant is lower than the potential that he put in human being. So why are you running helter-skelter looking for money? So why are you busy running everywhere looking for money? The Bible says that you rise up early in the morning and then you now go to bed late in the night only to eat the bread of sorrow. If plants will stay in one place, do you know that all that the plant needs to do, this is where he is aspiring to this place. This is where the plant want to get to. But instead of the plant running to catch this thing, the plant will just remain here. And what will the plant do? Look at it. Look at what the plant will do in just one word. In just one word. In just one word, the plant will just grow. All the plant needs to do to arrive at his goal, at his destination, that life that he is thinking of, that life that he desires, that's his goal. This tree that is producing multiple fruit is the goal of this seedling. But for this seedling to get to this goal, he does not need to be running here and there. He does not need to be doing a lot of and just busy everywhere. He's looking for one job here today. He's looking for another job there tomorrow. He's quarreling with his employer. You are not paying me well. I'm working every day. Who told you that it is the money your employer will pay you that will make you rich? Who told you? Your employer is fair enough to employ you. You are asking for too much when you are asking for increase in salary. I have never written for my salary to be in all the places where I worked. My understanding is that the amount of money that my employer is paying me per time is what I think I am worth. The very moment that I know that I am worth more than he is paying me, I will not quarrel with him. If he cannot see the potential inside of me to increase my salary, if that potential is truly there, that potential will attract that employer, or that potential will attract a business opportunity that will take me away from him, and that opportunity will bring the money that I need. A lot of people talk about the law of attraction. I call it the law of attraction, but for me, I call it the law of release. It is what you release from within you that eventually bring those things that they are calling the law of attraction. Until it gets out from within you, you will not see it come around you. If you release 1 million naira from within you, you are going to see opportunity of 1 million naira coming. It will be running to you. It will, oh my God, let me tell you this. A research was done for you to know how powerful the human being is. As I am seated here now, I am radiating energy, and the energy that is coming out from me attracts the things that are inside of me. The experiment that was performed is called psychokinetics. They brought a robot. This robot was programmed. That is the code that they programmed this robot was for this robot to move in a random manner, to be able to cover, let's say, in a room like this. The robot was programmed to move randomly. The robot was programmed to move randomly. That was the code that they programmed the robot. But when they finished programming that robot, they kept the robot with a set of 15 chicks. That's, you know, chicks now, bed, chicks. They kept a set of 15 chicks with that robot for a period of about 15 days. So the robots and the chicks were together for a period of 15 days. And after that 15 days, they carried the chick and put them in a cage. And they placed the chick in a corner of the house. And then they owned the robot. The robot that was programmed to move randomly within the room. The research found out that when they programmed that robot and ignited the robot to start moving randomly, the robot gravitated towards the chick that he had stayed with for a period of 15 days. What does that mean? It means that there was something within those chicks that influenced the code within that robot. So that when that robot was now left to perform the duty that they created the robot to perform, the robot did not obey the code, did not obey the programming. Rather, the robot moved towards the direction of the chick. And they thought that it was just a random selection. So they brought another set of chicks that didn't spend any time with the robot. So they put those set of chicks, they put them inside a cage, and then they on the robot. Guess what? The robot moved randomly according to its initial coding. That tells you that the people that you stay around, they influence all the time. Here comes the law of association. So you now know the reason why I moved away from the environment I was staying before, that I was paying 250,000 naira, to an environment that was paying more than ×4 of what my initial rent was. Because I understood that the people you stay close to, oh, you don't know now. Let me share this with you. I have a colleague at work, and the colleague told me that he went into a business and the business did not produce well like he wanted it, but another friend of his business produced well. And I asked him, I said, where do you stay? How much is your rent in the place where you are staying? He told me the amount he was paying. And I laughed. Immediately I laughed. I started speaking like a prophet, but I wasn't prophesying. I told him, I said, in that environment where you are staying currently, you are the one that is earning the highest salary. He said, yes. I said, the car you are driving is the best car. In fact, you probably are the only one that has a car around that environment. He said, yes. I said, that is why the business you put your money into did not produce. He said, what's the relationship? I said, the environment you stay, you have already gotten to the ceiling. You are the highest, so you can't grow beyond. You didn't create space for you to grow. He said, how? I said, the minimum amount that you should pay for a house should be a minimum of 20% of your annual income. That should be your rent. 20%. A minimum of 20% of your annual income should be what you pay for rent. If you pay anything below that, you are staying in an environment that will not encourage your growth. If you stay below that amount, you are staying in an environment that have mindsets that will not encourage your growth. Have you ever wondered that there is no state that does not have a GROA? Is there any state you know that doesn't have a government reserve area? I don't know of any. Here comes that it is from within you that everything that you want will come from. But for you to get to that destination, all you need to do is for you to grow. It's for you to grow. You have a goal. The kind of family that you want, the kind of faith that you want, the kind of finances that you want, the kind of friendship that you want, and the kind of fitness that you want. It will take just one thing for you to arrive at whatever goal that it is that you have. And that one thing is growth. Is growth. You need to grow. And the growth I'm talking about, sir, is not the growth by age. But now let us use age to even to illustrate something. When you are already grown above a particular size of shoe and you decide to wear that shoe, what happens to your leg? What will you be feeling in your leg? You'll be feeling pain because the leg is being pressured by the size of the shoe. Am I right? Agree with me that pain and pressure are supposed to be a signal that you are wearing undersize. When the bills that are coming your way are putting you under pressure, it means that you are living a life that is below what you should be living at the moment. When the bills that are coming your way, they are choking you. When the relationship you are getting into is putting you under pressure, it means that you are living below the standard that you should be living. Pain and pressure, they are actually signs and signals that you need to grow out of whatever it is that you are in. It is only growth that will make a chick to break the shell and come out. If the chick decides to remain inside, the chick will die there. But many of us are not ready to break the shell. Many of us are not ready to break those shells that are hindering us from gaining expression. Why? Because you are scared, because you are afraid, because you think that, oh, if I do this now, what will happen, let it happen. Because of that, you will not be able to tell them the risk that you have decided to take, because you have discovered that where you are at the moment is not where you are supposed to be. When will you start living life the way you want to live it? When? After retirement at age 65? I just laugh. I am not going to work for government till even 45 years. That's the truth. 45 years, no, I will not. What will I be doing with them 45 years? What will I be? I have a friend. He's actually my mentor. He makes, in his business, he makes an average of $15,000 every 2 weeks. $15,000 with current exchange rate. $15,000 with current exchange rate is about 8 million naira. Now, when you serve government for 35 years, how much will they pay you as gratuity? Many people don't get up to 10 million naira. That is what somebody is making in 2 weeks. And you are saying I should go and stay with government and be doing what? Now, are you willing to grow? Because that is what this program is all about. Are you willing to grow? Are you willing to pay the price to grow? About it is not easy. Let me say it now. It is not easy. Can I tell you something? I woke up by 2 a.m. today, 2 a.m. And since then, I have not napped. Let me just tell you, okay, it was 3 days ago I shared what I had done all through that day. Let me share with you what my routine has been for today. I woke up by 2 a.m. I had a night prayer with my wife till around 20 minutes to 3. I came into my study and I did my meditation, thinking and journaling for about 40 minutes. And after that, I read a chapter of this book. I read a chapter from this book. I read about 4 to 5 pages from this book. I read about 3 pages from this book. I'd listened to Bob Proctor, 19 minutes, 1 second. 19 minutes, 46 seconds. I'd listened to El Nightingale, 19 minutes, 1 second. I'd listened to Apostle Joshua Selman, 1 hour, 11 minutes, and I think 35 seconds, 34 seconds. And then I'd listened to about 30 minutes again of another message of Apostle Joshua Selman. And I'd read a book by Price Preacher, The U Square. And then I took my daughter to school and brought her back. I went to the office and then I came back. And I had uploaded up to about 5 videos on YouTube. And then I edited my slide. And before I go to bed, I still have some books to read from. The growth we are talking about is not easy. Growth is not pleasurable. Growth is not fun. Growth is not sweet. But if you learn to sweat in the place of practice, if you learn to sweat in the place of practice, you will learn to become a master in the place of execution. If you are not ready to pay the price that it will cost you, greatness is not sweet. I was reading about Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett, before he started, Warren Buffett was reading 700 to 1,000 pages every day. Bill Gates reads an average of 50 books in a year. That's an average of 1 book per week. What about Tony Robbins? Tony Robbins read 700 books in 7 years. That's an average of 2 books per week. Greatness is not easy, but you can do it because the potential that you have within you is more than you can think. Pain and pressure is what it will bring. Pain and pressure is what it will bring. Many of you don't know. Do you know that I had a health challenge while the GRB summit was on? When I was speaking, many didn't know. I was shivering, but you will not know. I was shivering, yet I was speaking. On Monday, today is making it a week, I had to go to the hospital. And when they saw the condition, they had to give me an overdose of injection. But I told them I will never be admitted. Do what you want to do and let me go back home. And today I am back. What brought me to that point was not because of anything. It was because of pressure. I was doing mental work. You needed to know how I was doing a lot of things, reading the things I need to put together before the summit. Doing all of them alone. Pain and pressure. But it will be sweet when you are doing it. It will be sweet when you are doing it. I forgot to tell you that I also did my podcast this morning. So when I look at the things that I do every morning, I am so sure of what my future is like. I am absolutely sure of what my future is like. There are 3 types of goals. The first one is the things that you know you can do. That is not the kind of things I'm talking about here. It's not the things you know that you can do. No. Maybe you have, let's say, you have a Camry muzzle, and then you say, okay, my goal is to buy another Camry muzzle. That's not a goal. You have done it before. You know you can do it, so it's not a goal. The type B goal is the things that some people think they can do. Yes, I know that if this thing happened like this, I can do this. Okay, if this thing, all things being equal, I can do. I remember when I was going to buy my first car in 2016. I just put all things together. I said, okay, when I collect this money, I put it together. If this one come like this, I'll be able to buy this car. And really, the way I wrote it, that was how it came to pass. And I was even able to get the car a month before the date that I set for myself. But that's not the kind of goal we are talking about. What kind of goal are we talking about? We are talking about the goals, the things that you truly want. Let me tell you what I truly want financially. I want 1% of my monthly income to be enough to foot my bills for a year. 1% of my monthly income should be able to take care of. When I talk of bills for the year, it includes whether my children's school fees, whether I'm going on vacation, if I'm going to change my car, if I'm going to pay anything you can think of. 1%. I don't know if you know how much that will be. I don't know if you know how much that will be. 1% of my monthly income should be able to pay my annual bills. That's where I'm going to. Is it possible? Am I able? That's the question I ask myself. Am I able? Yes, I'm able. I want you to understand. Satan said, I want to be like God. I will exalt my throne. And God said no. And because of that, Satan was thrown away from where he belonged before. Now, for God to prove to Satan that the reason why I threw you out was not because I was intimidated. The reason why I threw you out was not because I was scared of you. The reason why I threw you out was not because I am afraid. In order for God to prove to Satan that I can share my greatness, with the people that I created. God decided to create man like him. The same thing that Satan was aspiring to become, God decided to give it to man for free. A lot of people don't know the ability that is locked up within them. That's the reason why they do the things that they do. You will look at a car we pass, maybe a very beautiful car. You say, see all this thief. Why? Because your mind thinks that you have to steal for you to be able to drive in such a car. You see all these people who don't steal our money. Where you keep the money, where the person steal out. Where you walk the money. For those of us who know this man very well, this is Hilary Edmond. And this is Mount Everest. Do you know when Hilary Edmond was attempting to climb this mountain in 1951, they said, don't try it. Nobody has ever tried it and came back alive. And everybody that has ever attempted to climb this Mount Everest, they all died. They all died. And Edmond said, others may die. Who for me? I will get there. He went there in 1951, he could not. He came back. He went there in 1952, he could not. But 1953, 29th of May, he climbed this and became the first man that ever climbed Mount Everest. Now look at it. Do you know that after he climbed it, several other people started climbing it? It was after he did it that other people now knew that, oh, if he can do it, then I can do it too. But it takes people who can think of the future that they want. And if the future at the moment does not exist, they can begin to create it for themselves. George Bernard Shaw said that people that move on in life are those who look for who do not complain about the circumstances around them. They look for the circumstances that they want. And if they cannot find it, they will create their own. Those are the only people that move ahead in life. If Hilary Edmond could do it, when no one has done it, what kind of life do you want to live that you think you cannot live? Look at this man. The first day I saw this picture, I was scared for him. I was the one who was scared. He was not the one who was. Look at him there. But me, I was scared. I was scared for this young man. Alex Hanaud used his bare hand to climb a rock. You know that when these young men went out to repair, they were bicycle repairers, please. Note that. They were not vehicle repair. It is easier for you to move from A to B. But when you now say you want to move from A to Z, people will start asking you, is something wrong with you? How can bicycle repairers say that they can fly an object in the air? Bicycle repairers. You know what their church did to them? Their church excommunicated them. They said they were witch for them to ever think like that. But do you know, since they attempted it, plane has become the order of the day. The way to fly a plane on the air has always been here. It was not that it came from somewhere. No. Everything that you will need in life is already here with you. It's not going to come from the east or from the west. If what you need to fulfill your destiny, to give you satisfaction, is in the UK, do you know that you will attract the opportunity that will eventually take you out of this country? You will pull it to yourself. If the opportunity that you need to live a life successfully is in the UK, for instance, once you start growing, your growth will attract opportunities that will take you out of this country and take you to the UK. And that opportunity can just come by somebody coming and then the person just start talking about, hey, there's this opportunity. These people are doing it. You can just apply. That may just be the opportunity that you have attracted because you have decided to grow. Look at this young man, Thomas Edison. How will somebody be trying an experiment for 10,000 times and not give up? How many times have you attempted that thing that you think that, oh, this one is not for people like me? Oh, this one is not for this one is not for people like us. How many times have you tried? This man tried 10,000 times. What was his vision? And I want to light the streets of America without using any product from petroleum. And he started experimenting until he discovered that when an electric current is passed through a thin copper wire, that it will produce light. And now when he did that, he discovered that the light that he produced eventually went off, but he wanted his light to be permanent. And he kept experimenting. He kept experimenting until he discovered that the law of combustion states that you will need oxygen for every object to become, to flame. So he now discovered that, okay, if I pass electric current through this thin wire, and then I prevent oxygen from having access to that compartment, then it can keep lighting. So the bulb that you see covering that thin wire is not fancy. That bulb is actually a covering to help to cover the wire that is burning, to prevent oxygen from having access into it. And when he got it, he screamed, "Eureka, I've got it." And today we are talking about him. This man did not go to school. I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me is in the Bible. A lot of us quote it, but only very few believe in it. So the last question that you need to ask yourself is, are you willing to pay the price? Are you willing? Are you sincerely willing to pay the price? If you be willing, that's all God is requiring from you. If you be willing and obedient, he said, then the good of the land will be yours. Now look at how it goes. There's a price to be paid. And that price is you finding how to get to your destination, to bring out the greatness within you, for you to grow. Now we are going to be sharing with you ideas, the things that you need to do. If you read this book, some of you, when you read the introduction, if you read the introduction that they call chapter 1 here, the power of thought, and then chapter 2, desire, the starting point of all, many of you will not sleep in the night. You will just be awake and be thinking about your life. Now let's read this. God's gift to us is more talent and ability than we will ever hope to use in our lifetime. But what then is our gift back to God? Our gift back to God is to develop as much of that talent and ability we can in our lifetime. That is our gift to God. Here comes the habit. It is the habit that helps you to develop those gifts. It is the things that you need to start doing. Remember the statement we started with, that a body without a spirit is dead. Faith without work is dead. Mindset without habit is dead. Your mindset uses your habit to execute the actions that produces the result that he's thinking about. If you can have the image in your mind, which you are going to be seeing in all the in the stage 1 videos you are going to go through, you will know that there are 6 higher mental faculties that God has given to man. 6. And many people do not know how to use these 6. If you use them, you are going to be surprised the things that will be happening in your life. And the habits we are talking about is the greatness habit. So when you look at great people, you discover that they do things that look similar. You will see all the people that I brought to come and speak in the G Habit Summit, they were saying almost similar things. I have found out that great men and women, they always wake up early in the morning. They wake up early in the morning. Go and find out. You can do the statistics around you. They wake up early in the morning. And I hope that we've been able to set the stage for us to get ahead in this challenge. To have this book, if you have this book tonight, if you can watch one video tonight, then read one of this book tonight, one chapter of this book tonight, you will begin to have a lot of questions to ask. At the end of this session, I'm going to expect a response for these sessions we have had together. We're going to do a brief summary of the things, the nuggets. You know, somebody can say 1,000 things, and it is just one that keeps ringing in your mind. That's what I want. If it is just one, put that one in your own word and say, this is what this session has just done for me this evening. And so as we end today, you go and drop that in the WhatsApp group. Let us interact in the next 5 minutes. If you have any question to ask, If you have any concern, if there are some things I said that are not clear to you, let's do that in the next 5 minutes before first.
Thank you so much. I want to appreciate your effort. This is beyond my expectation. So there's no room for assumption. So, and I thank God. When I was receiving the, I was just like fellowshipping in my mind. Should I buy this course? Should I not buy this course? What does this guy have to say? I was just thinking. I say, something say buy. Then I bought it. But there's one that you were saying that you wanted to say again. I think, but then I said, okay, I will still buy this one. But somehow, I was at work. I couldn't get it. This evening session has really settled my doubts. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yes, this evening session has really settled. Should I not? Or should I should I? It's a concluded matter now. As long as the relationship is there, as long as God keep me alive, any cause that you put on, I will definitely get it. And one of the things that really touched my mind now is he said something that really struck me, that mindset without habit is dead. That word is just a thing. Mindset without habit is dead. My goodness, it's a mind blowing. I think I'm hearing it for the first time in my life. I'm hearing it for the first time in my life. I love reading, I love learning, but to this one you just said, I'm hearing it for the first time, and it has altered a lot of things within my mind. And I really want to appreciate you so much. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much. My work now is to put you on your toes. That is my work all through this session, is to put you on your toes. This book, you are getting it. And I am going to be sharing the things that I do personally with you. The way I engage my mentors. Just ask me ask me any questions. Feel free, because while I am doing group with you, I am also doing one-on-one with you, because if you ask a question, I can take your question and have an interaction with you based on the question that you have asked. So I will be sharing with you now. I went to the bookshop. That was about last week. These are the books I bought. This is 1, this is 2, and this is 3. There are books that are on my list that I'm going to finish reading in less than 2 months. And these are the books. So that I am not hiding anything from you. I will not. I will share any question you want to ask. 1, this is Greatness, Good to Greatness is in God's Eyes by Chip Ingram. Is actually the second next book. The next book I'm reading is Mentored by a Millionaire. And then How to Become Great Through Time Conversion. Then Applying the Kingdom and the Habits of Highly Effective Christians. These are books that are, and then the other one is Move Ahead with Possibility Thinking by Robert Schuller. Now, these are books that I'm reading. The one I'm reading currently that I'm going to finish in about a day or 2 is this one. I had read this book before. I'm reading it for the second time. This book, I've read it close to more than 10 times, and I'm reading it again. Currently, I'm on the chapter on decision. That's chapter what? That was the one I read few pages this morning. I think that's chapter 8. This one, I've read it more than 10 times, and I read a chapter every day. This one, I've read it more than how many times, and I'm also reading it over and over again. I will just keep sharing my personal things with you so that you know, because this body needs to be configured for the greatness that you are expecting. And that is what habit does, so that it can align with the mindset. And before you know, your life will just change like day and night.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. Let me first of all thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you
for putting this together. I mean, my story is quite funny, because how I was able to get to know about this the whole summit was in a Telegram group which you're into. I think it was the ATM Plus, yeah,
ATM
something
Plus.
like that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah. So I was actually looking for an information, and I stumbled. I had to go to the previous messages, and I just saw one of your flyers, and I was like, okay, this is this person. I could recognize a few faces there, and I was skeptical at first, but I said, oh, let me just try it. I mean, there's no harm. I mean, but from the first intro, the first day, I heard you speak. I mean, I was like, I was just so intrigued, like, who is this guy? You understand? I mean, I was hooked at that first instance, and Ever since I could just, I'm almost always rushing to just meet up any section and just hear anything that I could. Yeah. So, but for me, I personally, my own personal view, I've always had this challenge of maybe like I start something and that follow through to see that okay, to finish a process or something. Yeah. So I'm always like, okay, I started, I'm 30%, like I throw the power in, I'm like, I'm tired or this. Yeah. So I mean that's been a challenge for me, and I think that has been a big limiting factor. Yeah. So I mean, and throughout the seminars, I kept seeing when all the speakers were talking about their habits. You understand the habits. And one thing that stuck out for me was that I didn't really pay attention to how that was a big factor in achieving what you want to achieve. You understand?
Yeah.
This is the fact that sometimes it's not so pleasant. Yeah, I mean it's not pleasant at all. Like you said in one of your this thing, the pain and the pressure that it takes to. Yeah. So, but sometimes I see myself trying to shy away from it. You understand? But I mean, I've come to the realization that if you want to, like you said, you want to break out of your shell. I mean, you need to undergo through those phases. Yeah. And I just thank God that I've been trying to do it on my own, but it's like I keep getting that burnout. At a point, I'm like, I can't just. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
I do.
Yeah. So, I know that. Yeah. I know that now. I believe that it was not a coincidence that I saw that flyer. It's not a coincidence that I attended the meetings, heard the speakers. Yeah. So, and I'm just so glad, and I can't I'm so glad and I'm so hopeful for the process I'm going to go through, and I know that it's going to have a drastic change and impact, on me. So I've given myself I've told myself that I want to this time. There's no
going back.
There's no 30%. Yeah, there's no 30%. There's no 50% or 70%. I want to put my all in.
Full.
Yeah, no matter what it takes me, no matter my time, my resources, but at least for once, let me see this through. The 6 weeks, I'm going to be conversant. I'm going to pull through. Like every day, I'm going to show up, and at the end, I know that
all right,
I will have a testimony.
All right. Yeah. Take this week to soak in the videos on the stage 1. There are 5 videos. If I were you, I will watch each of those videos at least 2 times. At least 2 times. Even the Bible recommended, he said that faith comes by hearing, and by hearing the word of God. Repetition is one of the key secrets of every great man. They do the things that they do, and you think that it's just easy. No, it's not easy. It's just that they have been doing it over and over and over and over again. That's the secret. So we will meet on the WhatsApp group. I will get your comment. Well, thank you for sticking with me. God bless you. Feel free to ask me any questions on the group as we push on this challenge. I can already see you all you're already great, because the decision to sign up for this course is the beginning. That is a sign that this person, there's a seed of greatness inside of him. People don't know that when they pay for course, you are not dashing the person money. You are telling yourself that you believe in yourself enough to invest in yourself. That's just it. Good evening once again, everyone, and then we'll see you on the WhatsApp group. God bless you.